Melina Martinez, Assistant Director of Nursing. So I actually started as an LVN at another psych facility. Did not think at all when I went through nursing school that I was going to be in psych. I wanted to do like something medical. And when I did my psych clinical rotation, I absolutely loved it. I had a really good psych clinical rotation. And so I was able to get into a psych hospital early on in my LVN career, and I fell in love with it. It's definitely a passion for me. So I ended up going back to school, got my RN, went into leadership at that hospital, have done outpatient psych as well. And then I came on to San Antonio Behavioral Health almost 2 years ago, and I've grown since then. I started off as a manager and then recently promoted to Assistant Director of Nursing. The motivating factor was during my clinicals, seeing the patients. It was at a state hospital, so those are usually like the sickest of sick patients. And so really seeing how the staff there interacted with them, treated them like, they're any person. And so I think the mentality in the community is get something bad, and the way it's portrayed in movies is completely different, right? We don't treat patients anything like that. And so I think just seeing like how compassionate people were, how much the patients really needed that at the moment, and then being able to see some of the patients completely turn around, I was like, man, like this is just really something that I think I could do. And I remember one of my professors was like, you're definitely a psych nurse. Like he's like, from the moment I met you, I thought you'd be a really good psych nurse. And sure enough, like I started in it. And again, it's that seeing a patient come in some of the lowest times of their life, and we work with them and we give them the support they need. And you watch them just kind of come out of that shell, completely turn around, and they're able to function better. They're able to process their feelings, and then making sure that they're set up for aftercare. You have people that do a complete turnaround, and those are the best stories to see. Balancing is kind of hard sometimes, especially being in the leadership field, because you're never really off. You always have to be on and ready to go if there's an issue. But I have family that really support me. I have a lot of family that's in the medical field, so they kind of understand. They don't necessarily understand why I like psych so much. They definitely understand. And then my daughter hears a lot of like stories, or she knows what I do and she really thinks it's really awesome. So having her like supporting and understanding that sometimes when I come home, I need like a little time to like kind of just decompress because the day was really stressful or something. Having family that understands that is really, really important. But it's not always easy, but you just kind of work through each day at a time. It's almost like being a patient yourself. You kind of got to remember your own coping skills and when you need to tap out and when you need a moment alone. And I think communicating with them what I need and what I don't need at the time is the biggest thing. I've had a few throughout the years. Definitely in my first job, I've had somebody. And then I think my biggest one is my professor who I had in my LVN course. He was a nurse practitioner, and he was the one who told me that I was, he saw me as a psych nurse. And so I still keep in touch with him. And he's definitely a really good leader, has kind of like always been there to walk me through certain scenarios when I'm having hard times, like just to go to him. So definitely kind of shows like the type of leader that I am, and then like I want to continue to be, because people are very shocked when they have the leadership that's very hands-on and gets on the floor and talks with the patients and isn't afraid to do all of that stuff. And so when I first came here, a lot of the staff were very shocked that I was so hands-on, and I had always told myself I want to be a different kind of leader, but then I always felt like the kind of outcast who was the hands-on one and everybody else is very hands-off. And so coming into like a role where my leader was also kind of the same way was really great. You can do it if it's truly what you want. You're gonna have to work hard, absolutely, but I think that's anybody in this field. I don't think a female or a male is any different. I hate when they call all male codes, because I'm like, absolutely not, and I'll go over there. But definitely do it. Be strong. I think the biggest thing in this field is communication. You really have to communicate, not with just the patients, but with your staff, and show them that you're on their side. And that's how you build that rapport and you start building yourself up. But getting to the point where if that's where you want to do, go after it and do what you got to do. Get with people who are willing to mentor you. There's always people out there who will mentor you. Find out how they did it, pick their brain, and go for it. I guess the legacy is just that you can do it from any any kind of background, any kind of hardship in life. I've had a lot of stuff go on in my life that I thought I would never get to this point. But just knowing that if you are determined and you put your mind to it, you can do it. And showing that even as a woman, probably a lot of people never saw as going this far. You can do it if you really put your mind to it, if you really work hard for it. Absolutely 100%. So just wanting to show that I made it and that I left an impact of being able to help other people, from patients to staff members to fellow employees, all kinds of people, and hopefully inspiring other people to come into this field because it's a really great field.